Alright guys, so to create our sign up form, we're going to come up here, we're going to click Add Elements. Now we could have created a sign up form from scratch, but why do that when Flatsum Studio has done all the work for us and they've created some beautiful forms? So we'll come up here and we'll click Flatsum Studio. Next we're going to come down here to the left and we're going to click Sign Up. You can see they've created these beautiful pre-made sign up forms. The one we're going to use is this one right here, so we'll click Preview. And we can see what it looks like. That looks nice. I'm going to close the tab and we'll go up here and we'll click Import and we'll click Start. Make sure Import Images is checked and click Start. And now it's going to import the sign up form into our UX Builder. There we go. Now you can see it says Contact Form 7 ID 534. That's because we have to actually install the Contact Form 7 plugin. So we're going to go ahead and update this. We'll go back to the WordPress dashboard. On the left hand side, we're going to come down here to where it says Plugins, and we're going to click Add New. Plugins are like apps for your website. They give your website extra functionality it would not normally have. We're going to come up here and we're going to click the Popular tab. And we're going to install Contact Form 7. It should be the first one that shows up when you click Popular. If it isn't, just come over here and type Contact Form 7. So you can see all these different plugins. You have Yoast SEO, which is great for SEO. Over 5 million active installations. Here's our WooCommerce plugin we're using. Down here you have Tiny MCE Advanced. This will actually add extra options onto your WordPress editor for when you create blog posts. I do recommend that. So you can see there's all kinds of different plugins to choose from. And the great thing about plugins is most of them are free. So we're going to come up here to Contact Form 7. It has over 5 million active installations. And we're going to click Install Now. Next, we'll click Activate. Once the plugin is activated, we'll come down here to Contact Form 7 and we'll click Settings. Next, we'll come over to the left and we'll click Add New to add a new form. So the first thing we'll do is we'll give our form a name. I'm just going to type Sign Up. Next, we're going to come down here and where it says Newsletter Form Horizontal, we're going to go ahead and copy this code. So we'll highlight it, right click and copy. We'll click on Form. We'll get rid of this. So we'll delete, right click and paste. Next we'll click Save over here. Okay, so we'll go back to the UX Builder. We'll click Update. We'll go ahead and refresh. Come back down and you can see it still says Contact Form. It says 7404 not found. So we'll come over here to the banner. We'll open this up, open the text box, and we'll click Form CF7. Click that twice. Select Form. We're going to go ahead and select our sign up form right here. And there we go. We now have a sign up form. Beautiful. So we'll click Apply. We'll click Update. Save our changes. And next we'll click Text. We'll open the text editor. Oops, let's go ahead and close that and here we go. We'll click on this, double click on the text here and we're just going to change this. You can change it to whatever you want. I'm going to type in sign up and get 10% off. This will help persuade people to sign up and give us their email address so we can send them coupons and promotions. So let's go back to the banner menu. And we're going to go ahead and change this a little bit. I'm going to bring this down so their heads aren't cut off. There we go. Change the size to original. Everything else looks good. Go down here. I want to have a little bit thicker border at the top here. So where it says border width for the top, I'm just going to put in 6 pixels. Oops. And that's about it. I think we're good. Radius, color, hover, link. Everything else is good here. So we'll click apply. Update. And let me see, it doesn't seem to have created a border. So next we'll go to the front end and we'll refresh the page. For some reason we're not getting my border here, so let me go back here. It's showing it here. So let's go down. Go to Instagram feed and let's try that. There we go. Hit apply. Click update. And now let me refresh. There we go. Now I have a nice border at the top. That looks better. Okay. So it's a good idea to test your sign up form. So I'm just going to put in a fake email here. And I'll click sign up. And you can see we get this thank you for your message. It has been sent. So let's go back to the dashboard and we'll go and we'll click mail. And right here is where you'll put your email address, where you want all your sign up form emails to be sent to. So make sure you spell this correctly. And I'm going to go ahead and check my email to see if that email came through. Yep, and there it is. myfakeemail@email.com. All right, perfect. So I'll go ahead and sign out. Close this. And we go ahead and close this here. And let's go ahead and update again just to be safe. Okay guys, one thing I forgot to show you is how to get rid of this dummy text here. This is called lorem ipsum, and what it is, it's dummy text for when you're designing a website to let you know that later on you're going to put text there. So what we can do is we can open the banner here, open text box, and we'll click text, double click on it. We'll open the text editor, and here you can just highlight this and delete it, or you can change it to whatever you want it to say. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. So I'll go ahead and close that. We'll go back here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add our as seen in section. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go up here and we'll duplicate the top accessories title. So we'll click duplicate. Go back here and I'm going to close this banner again. And we'll click on the duplicate top accessories title and we'll just drag it down below banner. Perfect. Now we have our title down here. So we'll double click on it and we're going to change this title to say as seen in. Perfect. So we'll click apply and we'll update that. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add a section. So we'll click add elements and we'll click section. And we'll scroll all the way to the bottom and we'll click apply. Next, we're going to go inside the section and we're going to click the plus icon. We're going to add a row. So we'll click row and we're going to add a 4-column row. So we'll click 4 columns, click apply. And we're going to change the width of the row where it says width to full. And I can see we have a full width row. So we'll click apply. And inside the first row, first column, we're going to click the plus sign. And in the search box, we're going to type image. I'm going to go ahead and copy that because I'm going to copy and paste it. Because we're going to add image to each of these. So we'll click image. We'll click select media. Upload files, select files. We're going to go back to the website folder, to the homepage folder, homepage images, company logos. And I provided logos both in black and gray. I'm going to go ahead and use the gray ones. So I'm just going to click, and then I'm going to hold down the control key, command if you're on a Mac, and click the rest of the gray logos here. Then I'll click open. It's going to upload all those gray logos. There we go. The first logo we're going to add is the Glamour logo. So we'll click use this image. There it is. Next, we're going to go to the next column, click the plus sign. I'm just going to paste image in the search box, and the image comes up. Click image. And we'll upload the next logo. And that's going to be the Vogue logo. We'll click add elements again in the next column. I'm going to right click, paste the word image in the search box, and click image. Select media. This time it's going to be the Esquire Network logo. And now the last one. Click image. And this is going to be the GQ logo. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and click apply and click update. And you can see the GQ logo is a lot larger than the other logos. Don't worry, we're going to fix that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in here to the first column. I'm going to double click that. And we're going to change the margin. So what we're going to do, the top margin, up here where it says margin, I'm going to change this to -50. And the bottom margin, I'm going to change that to -48. So I'm just going to click and drag down. So it goes to -48. There we go. Oops. There we go. And the left margin I'm going to change to 35. So I'll just click and drag this up. Reaches 35. Perfect. Okay, the next column we can just come over here and bring your mouse down so that the column shows up. You can just double click it. And it comes to the next column. And this one I'm going to make the top margin -15. There we go. And the left margin is going to be 50. All right. Third column. I know this doesn't look right now, but don't worry. We're going to fix that after we do this. Third column, the left margin is going to be 58. Oops, wrong way. There we go. And the last column, the top margin is going to be 10. And the left margin is going to be 90. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click apply. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to double click on the first image here. And that opens up the image menu. And we're going to reduce the width to 80%. And then you can see it makes the logo smaller. Okay, so we'll click on the second logo. And we're going to reduce the width to this to 80% as well. There we go. Click on the third logo. And this one we're going to reduce to 90%. There we go. And we'll click on the, double click on the last logo. And we'll reduce this one to 55%. That's really big. Perfect. So we'll click apply. And we'll update that. Okay, you can see that looks pretty good. They're almost evenly spaced. Actually, they are pretty evenly spaced. But we can see that the GQ logo is way far away from the right side, and the Glamour is right up against the left side of the screen. So all we have to do now is play around with the margin and move these logos to where we want them to be. So let's start with the GQ logo here. We're going to this time click in the column section. Looks like I can't get to it. So we'll double click in the last column. And that brings up the column menu settings, and we can mess around with the margin here. So for this one, what we're going to do is, let's see. I'm going to bring this a little bit to the right. Bring it 90 pixels to the right. And let's see with the, let's click on the first column. And we'll mess around with the margin here. Move this to the right as well. So we have to go a little bit further in. We're going to try and make this space the same as this space here. Make that evenly. So let's bring this to 50 pixels. And let's go back to the GQ column. Let's bring this over a little bit more. That's pretty good. Actually, we'll bring this back. I'm going to undo that. Let's, if you bring your mouse down here to where it says column pops up, and double click, that will bring it right into the column settings. So the column settings for the Esquire logo. Let's go ahead and move that to the left a bit. Now let's do the same for the Vogue logo. Double click. Move this over to the right as well. Oops. This thing can be a little tricky. That looks pretty good. And now let's double click in the column for the Glamour logo. And we'll move this a little bit further to the right also. That looks pretty good right there. Look pretty evenly spaced. Now what I want to do is I want to move these up a bit so they're closer to the title. I'm just going to decrease the top margin. Double click on the second column. Do the same thing. I want to get these so that they look pretty even. And we'll double click on the third column. We'll reduce the top margin for the Esquire logo. And we'll double click on the last column and do the same thing for the GQ logo. You can see as I do that, it actually reduces the space of this section. So let's try and get that centered. It looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Update. And there's one more thing we need to do. We're going to double click on each image. We'll start with the first one. Go into the image settings. And we're going to come down to animate. And we're going to choose blur in. That'll have a nice effect where it blurs in. So let's double click on the second one. Animate. Blur in. Third one. Blur in. Finally, the last one. Blur in. Okay, so we'll hit apply. We'll update. That looks pretty good. They're pretty evenly spaced. Let's go ahead and see what the front of the page looks like. So we'll click the X here. Oh, okay, so if that happens, all you have to do is, we'll just go to the front of the page this way. and we'll refresh it. And let's come down here. And they should blur in one at a time. There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. That looks good. I like that. So if you don't like how it's perfect position, you can just mess around with the margin and also the size as well, like I showed you. And just a word of caution, if you're going to use a company's trademark logo on your website, make sure you first get permission by the company, because they can sue you for infringing on their rights. So, okay. So with that being said, all right, guys. So if you come this far, give yourself a pat on the back, because we're almost done with the home page. All we have to do is create the footer, and then after that, we'll upload our logo to the top menu, and we'll change the theme settings to create our website color scheme, and we'll be done with the home page. Okay, guys, so to create our footer, we're going to go to the front of the page, and up at the top where it says customize, we're going to click that. And this is the theme customizer. This allows you to customize different aspects of your theme. Once we're in the theme customizer, we're going to come down to footer, and we'll click footer. And I'm going to scroll all the way down here, because our footer is going to be down here. This is the footer customizer. We have footer 1 and footer 2. And the great thing about Flotsam is it allows you to have 2 footers. So let me show you what I mean. We go to the Flotsam theme website. And I'm going to click live preview, and I'll just come down here and show you this demo. If you scroll all the way down, this is footer 1 and this is footer 2. So you can see they have a 4-column setup for each footer, and here they have best-selling, featured, they have reviews, and down here they have like a sign-up form, tags, latest news, about us, social profiles. So that's what it would look like if you have 2 footers on your e-commerce store. We're only going to have 1. So we're going to go ahead and uncheck Enable Footer 2. And here you can change the column setup. Like I just showed you, they had a 4-column setup. That's what we're going to use. You could also have a 6, a 3, 2, or a 1. You could change the text color. Here, this is dark text color. If you click this, it would be light text color, which is white. And here's where you change the background color, and I'm actually going to do that right now. So I'll click select color, and I have that background color saved. So I'm going to go over down here and go to the Flotsam course website folder, home page, main menu text files, oops, wrong one, footer widget text files, and here's the footer background color. So you can just open that, and you just copy this hex code. I'll close this. Actually, I'll leave that open because I'm going to use that later. Come in here, delete this, right click and paste. And you just click out over here, and now you can see it changed to the background color. It's like almost a black. You could have a background image. You would select file and then upload an image, and that would be your background for your footer. Footer 2 has the same options. Here's the absolute footer, which is this right here. You have the copyright statement right here, which is right here. So we'll change that a little bit later. You could also change the background color here. So we can make it red if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it gray. You could have a bottom text secondary, which would go underneath this text. And here you can change the back to top button. We're going to leave it enabled, but you could change it to a square button. You could change the position. By default, it's on the right. You could have it on the left. And you also choose whether you want to show the button on mobile. And this is HTML, which we don't have to worry about. So I'm going to go ahead and click Publish, since we changed the background color. And we'll go back here. And now we're going to click Widgets. We can click Widgets here and click Footer 1. Or if we go back to Footer, we can click Edit Footer Widget. So we'll just click that, and it takes us right to the same place. So we'll click Footer 1. And here's where we start to add widgets for our footer. So let's go ahead and add a first widget. And this one is going to be a product category widget. So we'll come down here. These are in alphabetical order. So we'll click product categories. And now you can see our footers is starting to take place. Before it wasn't showing up, and now that we added a widget, it shows up. So the first thing we want to do is, I'm going to change this to shop by category. And you can see that even though I type in small letters, it shows up as capital letters, which is what I want. And here we order by name or category order. I'm going to order by name. Actually, I'm going to change that to category order. See what happens. There we go. Yeah, that's better. We're going to show as hierarchy. You could show it as a drop down if you wanted to. And now you would click and then it would be a drop down menu. You could show the product counts. And now it has the number of products for each category. Only show children in the current category, or you can hide empty categories, which you want to do. So I'm going to check this. I'm going to uncheck this. And I'm going to show as hierarchy. And I want to hide the empty categories because as you can see, oh, actually it doesn't show uncategories. Sometimes this will show the uncategorized category. If it does, you would just click hide empty categories and it would not show the uncategorized category. Okay, so we had that one. Once you're finished, you click done. That looks good. Next, we're going to add a text widget. So we'll click add a widget again. And this time we can come up here and use a search box. And it cuts down to the exact widget you want. So we'll click that. And we're going to type in the title, which will be customer service. And here's where we're going to put in our text. We're actually going to click the text tab. We'll dismiss this. And this brings up the text editor. You have the visual editor, which shows this, and the text editor. So I also have this for you. So we'll go back to the website folder. And here it is, footer widget 2, customer service. So I'll open that. I'm just going to copy this. Close that. Come in here and I'll just paste it. And here you can see we have the links for each of these pages. We're not going to create all these pages, but I just want to show you that you can have in your footer links for these pages. So if we go back to visual, this is what it looks like in the visual tab. So there we go. You can see they're all links. So we'll click done. Next, we're going to add another text widget. So we'll click add widget. Start typing text. Click text. And this is going to be company info. We'll go back to the folder here. Here it is, company info. And again, I'll just copy this. Close that. Go to text and paste. And if I go back to visual, again, these are all links. See, it shows up here. Okay, so we'll click done. Moving along. Next, we're going to add the contact info. So again, we'll click add a new widget. And it's going to be a text widget again. And this time we'll type for the title contact. And we'll go back to the folder. And here it is, contact info. So I'll just copy this. Close this. Go to text. Right click and paste. And this is what it looks like in the visual tab. You could also type all this out if you wanted to. But I made it easy for you. All you have to do is copy and paste and then just change it to your information. So we'll click done. And let's go ahead and publish that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add another widget. And now the next widget will show up underneath this this one right here. So we'll click add a widget. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a flotsam block. And we're going to have to create the block, because if I go down here, you see it says none, nothing shows up. That's because we have to create the block first. Flotsam blocks are a really awesome feature of the Flotsam theme. What they are blocks that let you add custom content anywhere that can be opened and edited with the page builder. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a Flotsam block, and it's going to have a search bar in it. So we'll go ahead and we'll click publish again to save our work. Next, we'll come up here and we'll click the X to close this menu. And we're going to go back to our dashboard. And on the left-hand side, we're going to come down to where it says UX blocks, and we're going to click add new. And first, we're going to give our block a title. So I'm just going to call this search. Oops. And we'll click publish. And next we're going to click UX Builder. And now we can create our block with the UX Builder. So we're going to come up here and we're going to click the plus icon to add our element. And in the search box, we're just going to type search. And we'll click search box. And you can see it shows up right here. This is the search box. So over here we can change it. We can change the style to flat. And that gives us an oval shaped box with the magnifying glass inside the box. I'm going to stay with normal. And here we can change the size. We can go extra small, small. We can do it extra large. Just keep it at medium. We're going to click apply. I'm going to click update. Next, we'll click the X here. And we'll go back to our site. Come up to the top, we'll click customize. And I'm going to scroll all the way down so we can see our footer. We'll click footer, edit footer widgets, footer 1. We'll go back to our UX block and we'll give it a title. It's going to say search. And you can see our title shows up down here. And now we'll choose our UX block search that we just made. And there it is. That's how easy it is to create a Flotsam block. I mean, that was so simple. And now we have a search bar. Now let me show you something else. I'm going to click done. I'm going to click add a widget. You could also add a search widget like this. Just excuse me, just choose a search widget and there it is. The reason I did the UX block, Flotsam block, is because I wanted to show you, number one, how to create a Flotsam block. And number two, we're going to create a voice search box up here in our menu. And to do that, if we have this one right here, it's going to change what this looks like, which I don't want to do. I want to keep this default here. So you'll see later on when we create the voice search box up here what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. To delete a widget, you just click delete. And there we go, it's deleted. Now, I want to have a space here. I don't want anything in this one. So to do that, it's easy. You just click add a widget. And we'll just click text widget. And we won't add anything in the text. We'll just close it. And now you can't see it because we didn't add any text, but it's right here. And it takes up space. Because right here I want to put our social profiles. So I'll click add a widget. And again, we're going to create a Flotsam block for our social profiles. So I'll come up here and click Flotsam blocks. Go ahead and publish to save our changes. We'll close this menu. We'll go back to our dashboard again. Come down to UX blocks and we'll click add new. And this, I'm going to give this title just social. Click publish. And I'll click UX Builder again. And we're going to add an element. And this is going to be, we'll type in follow. Click follow icons. And here we can change our social icons or follow icons, whatever you want to call them, what they're going to look like. Now you can see nothing shows up here. And that's because we have to add the link first of our social icons for them to show up. So I'm just going to put in a hashtag link. Normally you would put in your Facebook page URL here and your Instagram username, your Twitter handle, all that stuff here, your LinkedIn. So I'm just going to use a hashtag. And you can see when I do that, it shows up. So we'll add Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let me see. I'm going to skip LinkedIn, add an email, Pinterest, and we'll add YouTube as well. There we go. And you can see they all showed up here. Now we can change the style of these. You have outline, you have fill, and it fills it with the color. You have small, makes them much smaller. I'm going to leave them as fill. And you have inline. This doesn't really do much, it looks like. Oh, it centers. And then to the right. We're just going to keep it at inline. And I'm going to change the scale to 130. And let me see, I'm going to try, let me see, small again. There we go. I'm going to keep it as small, but I'm going to scale the small up to 130% so it's larger than what it was before. Because I want them to be gray like this. Since they're going in our footer, it'll match everything else. And once we're done, we'll go ahead and click Apply and Update. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll click the X to close this page. And we'll go back to our site. We'll go back and click Customize. And we'll come down here to Footer. Edit Footer Widgets. Footer 1. I'm going to scroll down so we can see the footer. We'll click Flats and Blocks to open it. And this time we're going to put in the title Connect with Us. And we'll choose our social block. And there we go. It's that easy. So I'll go ahead and click Done. And you can put a blank text widget here as well, which I think I'll do. There we go. And I'll click Publish. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And let's go ahead and see what our footer looks like on the front page so far. It looks nice. I like that. It looks very clean. Looks professional. Looks a lot like the big stores, e-commerce stores you see online, how their footer looks. I modeled it to look like that. So the only problem is I don't like how we have a lot of space on either side. I want my footer to be wider. And there's an easy way to do that. I also want these links to have a lighter color so they show up more, as well as the text. I want the text to be a little bit lighter as well. So we're going to go back to Customize. And I'm going to show you how to customize your footer the way it looks. We're going to go ahead and we're going to customize our colors and titles. So we'll go to Layout. Actually, we'll go to Style. And we'll go to Colors. And here's where you can change the colors for your entire site. See, you have the main colors. Primary color, secondary color, success color, alert color. If you remember when I was creating the buttons, all these buttons here, I was choosing primary color, and you can see it's the same exact blue as you see. That's where you change that color right there. And you also have secondary color, success color, and alert color. So what I want to do is I want to go down here to type, and you can see we have the headline color and the base color. This will change the color for all our headlines, which are here. And this is the base color for our base text. So you have to remember that it'll change the color for all the headlines, including these in the footer as well as these up here. Actually, I think this is a different color. So to change this headline color, we're going to go here, and I actually have those colors in a text file. So go back to my website folder, and we'll go to homepage. Actually, is that it? No, that's not it. Okay, so we'll go to homepage. There it is. It's in custom CSS, custom theme styles, colors, website colors. So you can see we have the colors here. Here's the base color. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'll minimize this and minimize that. I'll just right click and paste it in here. And you can see that changed the colors for actually the titles and the body here. Perfect. So that looks good. It's a lot easier to see. The headline color is actually, I was right, it is this color. So if you want, you can change this. I can just change this to black, and you'll see this color will change up here. There you go. Change to black. I'll keep it a dark gray. That looks good. Divider color, we want to change, it's kind of hard to see, but there are dividers here. They're kind of hidden because our footer background color is so dark. So we're going to change the divider color. I believe I have that color as well. It's right here. I'm going to copy that. Click here, and I'll paste it in this box. And there we go. Now we can see our dividers a lot easier. That looks good. Link colors. Let's change the link colors. I have that as well. And it's this one right here. So I'll click here. You can also just use this if you want to. You'll see it makes the color a lot lighter. And you can use these boxes as well, these color boxes. But I already have my color set up, so I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. It's kind of hard to see yet, so let me see. Yeah, I think that looks better. Okay, change it to that. That looks good. Now we have the hover link color as well, which is right here. You can see it's set to black. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change that to a blue color, I believe. Let's see. There we go. Looks good. Widget link colors. You change that. Widget link colors hover. I'm not going to change that right now. Actually, I guess I will, since I'm here. Just go ahead and change those. There we go. And you can change the add to cart, checkout button colors, the sale bubble color, new bubble review stars color if you want to change that as well to match your website's color scheme. So I'm going to go ahead and click publish. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to widen this footer. So we'll go back here, go back again, and we'll go to layout. And right here where it says site content width pixels, we're going to put in 1400 pixels. There we go. And you can see it became wider already. So here you can change the layout of your site. You can change the background color of the entire site. So I believe it's set to white by default, so we can change this to red. And let's see here. It didn't change that. It might have changed the background color on the shop pages. I'm just going to clear that. You can change the site box framed width. If we had a framed setting, it would change that. Background color, background image. You can add a background image by selecting the file. Background repeat. Since we're full size, we want to keep it there, but it would tiled. Let me see. It's not going to show that, so that's fine. Content color. You can make your content dark. So if you want a dark schemed website, you can do that instead of a light scheme. And the content back. Okay, this is where we change the content background. Okay, so we can change it to red, black, whatever color you want, blue. Change the saturation, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it default. And that's pretty much all your layout options. So we'll go ahead and click publish. And let's go back, and I want to go back to style. And this is where we can also change our fonts. Now the thing about fonts is in web design, there's a rule that you kind of want to probably follow. And that is that you should have no more than 3 fonts maximum. Most web designers use 2 fonts. So we have headline fonts here. It's set to Lato by default. And I'm going to go ahead and change these. So for the headlines, I'm going to change this to, let me see, I have this as well. Close this. I'm going to change it to Roboto. Here are the headlines, base, navigation, alt fonts. Headlines, base, navigation, alt fonts. So I'm going to change this to Roboto. I'll just start typing Roboto in the search here. And you can see it shows up, so I'll click that. And that changes. It might look very similar to Lato. And bold 700, I believe, is what I want. Yep. For the base, I'm going to change that to Roboto condensed, normal 400. So I'll come down here to the base. Start typing Roboto. Roboto condensed. And you can see my base fonts have changed. They become more condensed because now this is Roboto condensed. And I'll keep it at normal 400. That looks good. I'm going to keep the size at 100. You could make your font smaller or larger. But I want to keep it at 100. And by the way, if you decide, oh, I don't like that, you can just click the undo button here. Same thing with mobile-based font on mobile phones. You might want to make that smaller because it'd be on a smaller screen. Alt fonts, you can also change your text transforms so you can make them normal. So section titles, they are now in lowercase, all my section titles. I'm going to keep them uppercase though. This is a great thing about this theme. You can make all these changes just from this menu, this customizer. Makes it really convenient. And the changes are all site-wide, so they happen on every page. You also have a blog layout. You can change your blog, the blog sidebar. You can have it left sidebar, no sidebar. I'm not going to go through all of these because otherwise the video will be like 8 hours long. But post layout, you can change the post 2-column, inline, 3-column. You could have a list. And let's go to the blog page. I'll just show you this real quick. So let's see, list. There we go. Could have 3-column, 2-column, inline. That looks kind of nice. I see that on a lot of websites. I'm going to leave it at normal. Show excerpts. If you don't want to show the excerpts, they won't show on the home page. Blog background. We kind of went through these when we stylized the blog on the homepage. Post layouts. You can have the title underneath and everything instead of up here above the featured image. And the date box style, which is this box right here, you can change that as well. Could have a circle, solid square. I'm just going to keep it default. I think that looks nice. There we go. So, and you can also have a transparent header if you want to. And it's kind of hard to see though, because this is our menu now, our header menu. So I don't like that. There we go. Pages, you can do the same with your pages. We already have it contain full width is what I think most of our pages are. It's looks like it's at default. There aren't many options for the pages. Portfolio, this is more for if you have like a photography website with a portfolio on it. You can change the portfolio layout. Same thing, kind of what we did with the blogs, transparent header. You can have a single portfolio, the title. All these different, the archive page, all these different options to choose from. Filter nav style. That doesn't really concern us because we have an e-commerce site. Menus, we're going to get into this next. Homepage settings, we already did. Change our homepage to our homepage and the blog page for our blog. And you have additional CSS. If you're a developer, you can write all your CSS in here. And this is to reset everything back to default. So it would reset all the changes you've made in the customizer back to the default when you first installed the theme. So that you don't want to do unless you want everything to go back to default. So go ahead and click publish. That's pretty much the theme customizer. We went through a lot of the shop stuff. We'll go through this a little bit more in depth later when we create the checkout pages and style those and everything. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change our logo here. We're going to add our own custom logo, and we're also going to add a favicon, which is this little guy up here. We're going to make that custom so it has our logo instead of this earth. So let's go ahead and go back to the home page. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I'm going to go here. Actually, before we upload the logo, what I want to do first is I want to install our voice search plugin and get that set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to install our voice search plugin, get that set up, and then we'll come back and we'll customize our main menu, and then we'll add our logo.